All right, everyone, we have Griffin Dorsey. Griffin, just your initial thoughts on the result?
We'll take a win. I think that's all I got to say. Yeah, we'll take a win.
Start with Austin.
Griffin, just getting a goal at home for your first time, how did that feel in that moment? And take us through the celebration as well.
Yeah. I've been waiting to celebrate with the fans. Had a goal that was a handball. I got to celebrate that one, but it was called off. So it just feels good to get my first one at home, and then to announce that my wife is pregnant due in December is exciting, and we're super excited.
Bounce over to Alonso.
Hi, Dorsey. Congratulations for the win and the goal as well. What was the thought? I mean, the talk after leading 3-1, and then Philadelphia came back 3-3, and then you scored the last one. But just being leading by 2 goals, what happened? What was the message from the head coach? And also at the end of the game, what was the message from Martin in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't necessarily talk when we went up 3-1 because it happened in the second half. So we were just all on the field. I think starting with myself and going down the line of experienced players that we have on the field, we need to find a way, and once again, starting with myself, to be more professional, to end these types of games in a way where we take the opponent completely out of the game. Because I think this is a game we definitely could have done that, and we gave them opportunities to get back in the game when we shouldn't have. So I think for me, first, and then outwardly, I think the rest of the players would probably agree that we can be more professional in those moments, whether we have a talk at halftime or whether we don't have a talk at halftime. And then the message from the head coach at the end of the game was, you celebrate your wins. This league is up and down all the time, and when you win, there's no easy match in this league, and when you win, you celebrate a win. There's going to be a lot of things to learn from. There's no doubt about it, and he emphasized that as well. But we celebrate. We celebrate a win. We celebrate 3 points at home, and we look forward to Atlanta tomorrow.
I'll also ask you because in the beginning of the game, in the beginning of the pregame, we saw a video that you were talking in the locker room, and it's something that like a leadership, but it's something that you felt like doing it since you have experience in the MLS, or is that something that the coach or Martin talked to you to help them since you have like years in the league?
I think it just comes personally from me. And I think Martin has kind of talked to the group about being vocal and especially starting the game with energy. I think you can kind of look back at the last 2 games we've had, and we haven't necessarily started, Montreal stayed 0-0 for quite a while, but we all kind of agreed that the start of that game also wasn't great, and obviously the Miami game before that was not great start. So for us, a clear message was, how can we start this game with energy? And I think Martin spoke to the whole group when he's talking about how can we get energy on the field to start the game. And for me personally, I speak up because it helps me and it helps me get going. Sometimes I think my teammates can kind of laugh and be like, is this helping? Is this not helping? And for me, it just helps me get going. And I think overall it helps the vibration of the group get going as well.
Griffin, congrats on the goal and the win. Just curious, you guys had a 2-0 lead at halftime, and did you expect, or how do you think this game opened up as much as it did in the second half? Because it was pretty wide open after being 2-0 at the half.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's about it's once again just about the message I said before about being professional and ending these games, taking teams out of games. The message was quite clear at halftime to make sure that we, one, are not getting complacent and we're looking for the third goal, but we're doing it with patience. And I think there will be a plethora of moments that we'll look at leading into the game on Saturday that will show maybe some moments where we were impatient, some moments that we maybe weren't as professional as we needed to be to end this game in the second half. and not give them an opportunity to get back into the game.
Last question for Austin.
Griff, just kind of going off of that, do you feel like that is kind of the missing piece defensively for this team, or do you feel like there's something that is a lot more important just on the defensive side that the team needs to polish up on?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, once again, it's just that it's that focus and professionalism, and it's starting with myself first. You know, I'm an attacking outside back. I like to get up and down the line, you know, but maybe there are moments where the game is 2-0 or the game is 3-1, and those are moments where we can stay, hey, let's, you know, put our foot on the ball, let's stay low, let's stay compact, and make sure we don't allow a team to get in the game. I think, you know, there's definitely a balance of not being complacent and not just letting teams play when you have a lead, but also not being overly aggressive and opening up the game, as they said.
Thank you, Griffin.
Yep. Thank you, guys.